All right, good morning, everyone. Sorry, I was trying to click over and it was like not working. I was like, why is it not working here? Um, Let me know if you guys can hear the sound okay. Wait, what? Okay. I love it. I hit start and like my phone blows up every day. It's just funny how that works out. Neuro, just so you know, I had my coffee back this morning. It was a long night. The baby was like rolling all over the place. I don't know if she was dreaming or what it was, but there was feet everywhere. It's like, oh, sound is good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Um, I know. Yeah, I had to go with the coffee. I had a game last night. I got back at like 10 o'clock, and I was like, oh, it was a rough game. The humidity was like unreal. Um, it was painful. It was like, I think it was field time, like game time. It was 89 degrees, but like the humidity was just so bad. Within like 5 minutes, you were just like drenched in sweat. And we didn't have big numbers last night, so it was like it was definitely time. A couple times, like, hey, you got to go back in. If I stay out here, I'm gonna vomit. Yeah, I had helped at a camp yesterday for 3 hours. So being out in the sun during the day and then basically coming home and eating and then running right back out again for a game, not the smartest decision of my life. Anyway, dollar is basically collapsing, right? Dollar is down big, particularly this dollar Swiss. Yen, on the other hand, yen is just crushing it. I guess you really can't say it's. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a little bit of weakness on other things. I guess it's a little bit, but it's really. I would just say overall. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the bigger ones obviously have been the dollar yen, pound yen. Also, yen has actually quite a bit down as well. Um, Euro yen has been the only one that really kind of stabilized itself for the most part. We'll see with that one and stabilized what the last 6 7 hours, really since the open today. It's the only one that's been holding firm. But again, there's been a lot of comments and there's been some positive strength in the euro. You can see it both in the euro dollar as well as in the euro pound. So good stuff, right? And again, 8:30 speeches can do that. I mean, not just the speech, but like the preparation for what they're going to say, right? And there's a bunch. I mean, there's a bunch of things you can click on. The new target removes ambiguity. 2% is not the ceiling. Having that certainty with thing obviously provides some strength back, which is always good. Versus what we have, like, oh, we'll see substantial inflation for an extended period of time. It's like, what? None of that stuff makes any sense, right? Um, we're not where we want to be on inflation, meaning we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. So, very, very interesting comments. We'll see kind of how that is shadowed in the rest of the world. Unemployment claims actually went up. Okay. I actually saw a message on my phone because, like, again, I get those news like alerts or whatever saying that restaurant workers are. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I read this correctly so I don't misquote. Um, where is it? I just had it. I hit it, and then of course it's like, oh, we'll update this. I'm like, no, don't update it. Something about how restaurant workers are like leaving in droves. Um, Rich Dad Poor Dad is a warning of a market crash, and he says go to Bitcoin. So he must own lots of Bitcoin. Um, because it's like go to Bitcoin, but like China just banned it. Miners are starting to abandon it. Yeah. Um, of course, I can't find it now. Yeah, I can't find it. Anyway, basically talking about how restaurant workers are leaving in droves. So it is interesting that you see unemployment claims continuing to rise. Again, we're kind of at the stage now where if a lot of negatives coming in and the markets are, it leads to a situation that, could be quite negative for the indices. Again, I think they've bounced this morning. But overall, when you're starting to see unemployment rise under the current conditions, it's kind of one of those things. It makes you question. It's like, um, I don't think. I don't know. I feel like at this point, the red herring is probably just the coronavirus at this point. Economies are not shutting down. Everybody's opening up, talking about recovery, bringing it back again. This is we have the most jobs currently. We've had the most job openings we've had in like 8 years, 10 years, something like that. They said it's like record number of job openings. You're seeing unemployment claims go up, but people are trying to hire. It just there are battles everywhere about getting additional unemployment benefits and things like that. Um, yeah, it's crazy. Um, Crude oil today should be interesting. Um, Delta variant. Yeah, I mean Delta variant. I heard yesterday, actually in Arizona, I guess the Delta variant is now responsible for like 90% of new cases. So I mean, it's out there, but I mean, this won't be the last variant. There's going to be another one after this, and another one after that, and another one after that. Um, I mean, look at the flu. The flu comes out new every year, right? New strains of it every year. So I mean, that's how viruses work. I mean, you know, question is, can control the symptoms? Can we, reduce the death? I mean, people still die of the flu every year, right? Um, you know, it is what it is. Crude oil inventories, I think, will be interesting. OPEC is still going back and forth. I love this one that OPEC is hosting its 19th coordination meeting on climate change. I love that one. Um, yeah, like the main solution supposedly to climate change is like let's just stop using gasoline, which is basically what OPEC does. So we're going to focus on climate change. Um, yeah, I don't know that OPEC, because it's the oil producing countries. Um, I don't believe that they're investing in alternative energy sources. I mean, like the big companies like BP and Exxon and things like that. They are energy companies. They've gone away from just oil companies, so they do have technology in other forms that they can make money off of. And like they talked about um, you know different renewable resources and things like that. So you know it's always funny, kind of ironic, right, when they talk about those. Besides that, everything else is going to be based in the ECB because it's so recent, right? Um, there's going to be a bunch of them. You can go through there. Um, yeah. Besides that, I mean, like I said, everything right now because it's fresh is there. But again, I think crude oil will be interesting. And remember, it's at 11 o'clock today, not 10:30. Um, Interesting thing about being at 11 o'clock is there's a couple things you could. We don't have to use the 9. You wouldn't be using the 9 to 11 now binary on this one. You'd be using, or actually even any of the 2 hours, you'd be using the 10 to 12, right? But being a little bit deeper in, it may have a little bit different move than what we've seen so far in the overnight. Oil really didn't do too much, right? Um, you know, excuse me. Uh, Oil, what has it really done? I mean, know. It's moved down like what 30 cents, 40 cents, and then kind of come back up again, and it's kind of dropping right now. So I wouldn't say it had the big swing. I think yesterday was more of the bigger swing than anything else. So or 2 days ago. Well, I guess really the last 2 days. And now we're running into some buyer. So it's one to watch. One to watch. We'll see what we can get out of it in natural gas as well. Early morning tomorrow, we also have some speeches that are definitely important to watch out for, as well as all the CAD data. Now, with dollar CAD spiking basically 103 up, right? I mean, you're seeing for the most part, it's down, 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 but then the dollar CAD is up, right? That should be interesting. If you look at the CAD unemployment rate, it's supposed to drop by kind of a substantial amount. And if you remember the US unemployment rate last month, it was supposed to go down by 2, and it actually went up by 1. They're predicting this one to go down by 0.4%. So it's kind of almost set up for a disappointment. But they're saying employment change is going up big. So question is, do they have the leg up now over the U.S. Employment situation? So I think that could be an interesting one, particularly because I mean we have G20 meetings, but that's really the last biggest news besides any OPEC JMC meetings, the OPEC Plus group. So I think we'll have some fireworks around 6 between ECB and BOE speaking. The Euro Pound will definitely be one to watch tomorrow morning early. And again, it's not super, super early, but it is still 6 a.m. I'm sure we'll have some type of OPEC headline tomorrow, particularly after we see the oil inventory today. And then again, CAD employment change at 8:30. So it could be a decent Friday, right? And then G20, I mean, we have day one, and then day two will be a Saturday. I'm assuming we'll get some headlines on day one tomorrow, but I think most of them will be on Saturday. They always they do it like that on purpose, just to make it so we can't trade it. But yeah, so I think crude oil is decent today. I don't expect as much movement. It's going to be, basically maneuvering for tomorrow. And then again, a lot of these statements will, I'm expecting retraces here, and probably with the pound yen. After Bailey speaks, let's see what kind of a speech is it. Digitalization, intangibles, and potential growth in the post-COVID. Yeah, so this is kind of one of those ones about how the pound is moving forward, and I think this one is, I think it, honestly, I think it's a he could make some interesting comments. Because with Brexit, the pound was already trying to like reinvent itself, right? With that reinvention, obviously digitalization is one of the things, and they've talked about a digital currency. So, I mean, I think all countries will soon eventually have a digital, some form of digital currency within the next couple of years. Um, yeah, especially with this kind of global kind of agreement on taxation. So, we'll see, right? We'll see. But yeah, these moves are too big. I would expect some retracements. There's nothing that has fundamentally changed in the last 24 hours. Um, like I said, a lot of this is ECB, a lot of this is the yen. All right, so first things first, you can see that basically, let's see, right here, right there is the European Open. So dollar has taken quite a hit in the overnight so far. It says that it's down 0.39% or zero point 0.4. That's a big move, and you can see, based off of this scaling, that's a pretty big drop down. But we are sitting in an area right here where we've had buyers step in. So again, US traders online, we're seeing it turn green. That's not been uncommon, right? It's been pushed down in the overnight. The US trader comes online and brings strength back into it. That strength coming back in would typically, would reverse a lot of these positions we've seen, minus the dollar cat, obviously, which is way up, right? And we'll see how much farther that can go. So interesting. You're seeing again, this is delayed. Obviously, you're seeing red across the board for all the indices. I may eventually just, I may actually just subscribe so I don't have to see the D anymore. And that one oil release that we tried to, or natural gas release we tried to trade, the D actually mattered. It changed the trade completely in the last 10 minutes. So I may have to just bite the bullet and buy the actual data. Most of the stuff is not delayed, but it's kind of like, I was like, these are delayed, and just this guy right here is delayed. It's like, but Dixie is not delayed. So you're seeing it. We'll see how it stomachs. And again, I wouldn't be surprised because it pushed so far down. If we have some bit of a retracement back again, but if we do break through this level again, we have room to run down here to 92, another 30-cent drop, and again, that could be a pretty big day for anything dollar based. All right, let's go over across. And I haven't updated these since yesterday. I got super busy with helping run a camp yesterday and everything else. Um, you can see yesterday we were sitting kind of right over in this area, and we talked about taking a long. Now this long kicked in right around 10:30 as it should have, right for a reversal. It missed it by just a little bit, so you may not have gotten into this position. It ended up jumping about 45 pips. So again, decent runner to the top side. It based in that same zone that we had mentioned, and then continued to drop. Right. It based on the top side of this. So again, you got to count that as a hit. You're going to count this as a hit, pushing through. It did hit pull back and continue to go lower, and it was a decent, it was, let's see, from the touch here, about 29 pips to the downside. So not horrible. But the way that this push went down into this level, this would have been a hard one, especially if you guys were trying to news trade it, because it was set up more for a long. But again, you had to start looking at this and say, oh, it's basing. And we never got the pop. It's kind of like, oh, we need to go short, right? As soon as it broke through and it went. So this would have been a little tricky one for news last night. Eh, it is what it is. So where we're going now, obviously this zone is no longer good. And again, it did come back and retouch it, so we can't use it anymore. Right now, we got to go a bit lower. Let's go back up to an hourly right there. I was trying to see when the last time, and it's been a while. Look at that. I can't even. There we go. Let's make this easy. I'll go from here, horizontal line there, and then go back on the hourly. All right, so you can see that. We'll go horizontal ray there. We'll go there. And then let's see. We could use that one. Just kind of looking for more of a tested level. That one's long too. Let me drop it up to 4 hour and see what I got. I like that one, but that's going to be a hard one to grab. See, can I go far enough back to get a decent pull on it? No. Looks like hour. We're gonna do it with an hourly. So I would say here's an area where we have some confirmation. I'd say watch out for a hit here. We'll move these over in a second. Um, Actually, can I turn that yellow? 'Cause it's yellow is kind of like our alert. Yeah, it's fine. Um, and another one, probably. hmm, Probably there is what we'll put our next alert. All right. So these are areas where we're looking for next levels, basically. Let's bounce back up to a 4 hour. Let's see where our best looking. Just trying to grab green levels here. So we're in this green. Let's pull this all the way across. We got room to run for that one, but I'm just trying to get good 4 hour levels in here. Gonna pull another 4 hour level there. And we'll pull one here since it's somewhat close, but it's not. I don't like that one as much. Pull there, pull there. So yeah, that'll be the next big one we'll watch out for. All right, let's go. All right, so that area of interest is gone. Let's pull this. We'll drop that one. Let's pull a level here where we had some basing. Drop. Oops, not the outside. I wanted the inside. Right there. You know what? Let me change it back because every one I draw now is going to have that outside border. All right. Arizona at a little 30-minute level. And again, this may be the retracement back to continue this one to the downside. I can take this off now. Let's see. Do have a green level here, but we're going to watch that one depending on when we hit. And then 73.85. So I know you guys, it's harder for you guys to see some of these. Let's change that to yellow, black, so you can see it. Okay, 71 or 73.84 is an area I'd watch out for. It is a larger time frame zone. Um, Not the cleanest, so I'd kind of like to have it form a new kind of. I'd like it to form a new level now that it's kind of pushed through. Obviously, there's a position sitting right here as well, and that one be green. Uh, and that one, whoops, not that green. This green. 71.12. And we've pulled back a little bit, but I'm curious to see if what we do in here, if we base and we start to roll back down again. Um, Problem for any of these shorts is we have a level here, level here, level here, and we're talking about 15 pips here and 50 pips down. So kind of an interesting scenario. I'd like this one to kind of put some type of a bottom in before we just take a long from way back. Because it's been a while. Remember, I couldn't go back on the 30-minute and find these levels. So these are based off biggers. I would say that changes our kind of thinking on them. But right now, I'd say probably this is our best bet right now, is taking a short. And that'll drop us about 40 pips back into this zone. So we can get a short from here down. I think that's probably a decent. I think it's a decent kind of setup for right now. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen blew through a level, and look at this. We ended up tagging it just a little bit coming through. So no big deal. We talked about the short here and ended up breaking through, and you can see went much lower. Weird. It was an easy short. Unfortunately, it didn't give us the pullback all the way in the zone. But the way that it pushed through last time, how it came in here at 10:30, that was pretty much a telltale sign when it pulled back up again that it wasn't going to hold again. So, you know, this would have been hit number 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they've hit number 5. So, again, hopefully you guys got that one short from yesterday. And this would have been an initial target from that short. Now, unfortunately, that wasn't a great reversal for us, so it didn't work. But the short did, the long didn't. So let's go back up to, yeah, I'm trying to find where we should adjust this next level to. Let's go 4 hours. You can see how big that one candle is on the 4 hour. I'm just going to bring it down to this next level basing here. Let's pull this down to this level. Looking at this one right here, because we had kind of a retest where it was a failure on that one. So we're going to pull that. We're going to lock that in, and we are right at green now. So, all right. So Right now, let's see. We're looking for kind of explosive movement. So we know we got one here, right? Like that little push off. This push is decent too, and it's kind of right where we're at. And again, kind of coincides with, right, where price is kind of sitting. So I'd say that this one is set up for a bit of reversal on the 4 hour. Let me see on a 30 minute if I'm able to go back and refine those a bit. Yep, I can. Cool. All right, let's refine these a little bit. Oh, that should be easy enough. Let's pull this down to here. We're going to use that level. This one as well. Let's go down and grab that level. Although those two have been deep, I don't like that one as much. All right, so there we go. All the way across. All right, so again, big movement down. We should be looking for reversal. It's just entering the bottom third here, so I think that's a decent place to go. I would say 81.18 to the top side. If we put this one in, oh, it saved it from yesterday. Something along those lines. And that's a 5 to 1. A 3 to 1 is only to here. So it's not a very big, not a very large zone. Yeah, talking about 12. So decent level. And again, that just shows you this looks so tiny. It just shows you how much movement. So again, we're looking for a reversal. This area of interest too is then again hit here, hit here. Again, you took this one on number 5, broke through. We don't need to keep it on there anymore. But I would look at this level right here, only because I like the way the wicks formed here. Now it's lower, 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 and then boom, slam to the downside. So I think that's a decent level here that we should be looking for. It'll take a while for price to come back up, but that would be at 82.49. So I like that to the downside. 82.49, 81.18. Either way looks good. Euro pound. So yesterday we hit it. We hit it. We pulled back down again. We were at about 1 to 1, and then it started to push through again. It was actually, this is a very interesting one because we're right around the European Open, and it hit it right, like literally right after it opened. It hit and then pulled back down again. Um, Whenever you're over 1 to 1, move your stop loss to break even. I'm kind of surprised it continued to push through, but it just the amount of kind of energy this one had kind of lined up perfectly. So worst case scenario, you guys got stopped out at break even, and it came down, it hit again, and then pulled back lower. So it did hit twice. So you guys should not have lost any money on this one. And again, it's trading. It happens. It's not shopping. It is trading. Um, you guys can see where it's reversing off of too. And actually, that was a decent reversal. This should actually be there. Yeah, there, and there. So it held. All right. I would say right now, this short is probably pretty decent. This is a lot of movement. Here's the European Open. So let's see. From European Open there, you're talking about 60 pips straight up. I would say profit targets to the downside. I would say first profit target is here, but I wouldn't be surprised if this one pushes all the way back down again. A lot of news from the euro today. I think the pound will retrace back with kind of everything we've heard. If you are short, I think it's a decent short to push down. It will have a little bit of a hiccup here, but it should be able to run all the way back down. And again, that's about 33 pips to the downside. Um, just so you guys can get a kind of a view of it. Um, this up 3 to 1. Hold on, I'm just trying to get the 3 to 1 so you guys can see kind of your ranges here. Your 3 to 1 is sitting right there, right? Your, I mean, the actual full range is 6.8. So again, the 3 here is decent, and you could probably run it even further if you wanted to. Right there. Um, yeah, I like this one short today. Euro yen, you can see that this one has stabilized a bit more. And again, hit here, broke through it again, broke through, pulled back, grabbed it, and continued to push down. So again, where was that? Yeah, we were looking for this one, and it pulled up about 1 to 1. Again, at 2 o'clock, this one continued to push lower because of the yen. But once it broke through the zone, again, that's why you always have to keep these on. The extra hit here came back up, and we were short. So morning trade didn't work. Afternoon trade worked just fine. This one has had a bunch of movement too. It's only down 0.3, but it's just been steady to the downside. This pullback is really kind of I think what pullback is it? Yeah, it's about a 46 pip pullback, right? It's 37 down, so 70. So you're talking about a half a percentage point to the downside before this one retraced. And again, European session, retrace, right? Came straight up for the speech and then kind of just as wiggled back and forth. Um, let's see. Let's find that new level lower. Yeah, it spiked into areas that we were talking about before. All right, so it looks like we have a decent level here. Again, I made that a little bit bigger, but that's probably fine. This will be our next level that we're looking for. Let's see how much we have to go here. 72 pips. So this could be a Friday thing. Let's pull that on. That is our next level. There. Remove that. I do like how this based, so let's pull. Whoops. Right there. Let's pull red. Right up top. Being in the middle, the way that this is kind of poked forward and there's that little level, that kind of wick against the wall here, I would kind of expect for this to roll back down again. As far as a clean entry, I mean, it's got 72 pips. I mean, I guess not full 72. It's got 40 pips before we run into those buyers, but I think we could come back down again. And I'd say 129.30 is a decent level to go long from. I don't have a great risk level, so if you're short this one already, you're fine. Don't really have a way to jump into this one otherwise right now. There's just not enough meat in that one right now. But I do like the 130.34 level. I like how it based. It did like a 2-hour base. It was a little bit of a pullback. It wasn't sure what it wanted to do, and then all of a sudden at 130, boom, it just got hammered. And that's that. I like that movement. That's a 77 pip explosive move before the open. Yeah, I like that one. I'm into that. So 130.34, 129.30. Euro dollar. Bam, this sucker spiked. And now again, remember, this is not the entry we're looking for a Harry Potter. It spiked in and it was over it was basically a 1-to-1. So we would not have taken entry into this one. Okay. When it came back up and burst through the top, the Harry Potter is now invalidated. So it was a no trade. As you can see, this one is off to the races. So let's see, where would we want this one? This one, I would say we got room to run really until probably this level. Again, this is that old area of interest, so we know it's a level that we have interest in going into. I'd say there. Let's see. Yeah, the green was the high, so we're good with that. I like that one. I think that's decent for a reversal. Got a bit of again, little wick over wick here, more or less a racetrack to the top side. We continue to have that dollar weakness where it's the U.S. trade that's halting this one right now. But I think if we pull back up, problem is this has been not a bad rally, right? Impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction. And it's basically been an hour and a half up, a pullback, hour and a half up, pullback, hour and a half up, pullback. So we're in the pullback stage now. The question is, will we have enough weakness come in later on this afternoon? But again, keep those on your radar for tomorrow. I think 118.90 is a decent level. Obviously, we had something lower. Let's go back up to an hourly. Let's grab our most recent. Yeah, we talked about how we had a racetrack here. We'll extend this one across. I'm trying to think. It's funny. It grabbed. There's your wick over wick. Now it was a pretty small wick over wick, but you can see exactly what it bounced off of. I removed the black line. You can see right there. That's what it grabbed. So I would say watch caution there. Basically for any short right now. So we know we got a level lower. We'll leave that there. I would say for any shorts in this one, be cautious. Probably with down here, I would say that this is our profit level right here. Take profit on shorts at 118.05. But I would say let this one ride. There's a small. Let's see, how big is it? It's 3 pips, so it's right there at that 25%. So it's kind of like, I I don't know. I mean, if you want to be aggressive with it, yeah, you could take it as a short, but I think stay more conservative on this one going into Friday. I think 118.90 is a better level. So take 118.90 and then look for that to you know, roll back down again. And if we can catch that at European session open, that wouldn't be bad either. Okay. Pound yen. So pound yen get hammered. Now we hit it, we hit it, we hit it. Yeah, it's like, hey, these are all signs it's going to break through that level, and it did. It drove right through. And again, remember, we're not riding this again and again and again and again. Once it hits this many times, once we base, you're going short. You're not going long. The bottom level, it did provide buyers for a brief moment and popped it up, and it was a decent. Let's see, I think it was a 2 to 1 to the top side. So again, this was not a very large level, but we did have a 2 to 1 pop back up. Um, I think it was two. It's like right around two, right? Um, 2.24. So yeah, so one of those ones. Nice reversal, but we were looking to go short at that point. Now the interesting thing is it came all the way down, and if you go back to where kind of, whoops, I moved it. Wasn't trying to move it. This is where we've held this bottom level. And again, it rotated right around that bottom piece. We know that we have a level sitting right here at 150.54. So I would say that this would be our next level where I'll just delete this one up top. Here's our next level of longs. And we were looking for longs when we spiked down. It just turned a little bit before that time. So I would say I'm going to change this one across. I do like the way that candle formed. I like those wicks in there. So that is going to become a red area short for us. We're going to take this across. We'll turn this to red. So 152.83. I like the top here. Let me drop it down to 30-minute. Make sure there's nothing hidden in there. There's a tested wick over wick in there. How big is it? It is 15. I would say for those more aggressive traders, if we time this one right, watch the level sitting right there as well. All right. Here. And then watch for a potential short there. Okay. And again, European session, if we can snag this one. I was close. There's your European session open. If we can run that across, decent short to the downside. That's 45 pips. Perfect. Perfect on the retrace. Okay. So 152.31 European session open, or any of the news based entries. 151.61 and 150.52 at the bottom. Pound yen. So this guy got so close. Now, this would have been a no entry. It's always nice when you draw these and it does go where you want it to go. And we miss it by just a very, very little bit. But we never got an entry on the 30-minute. Remember, for this one, we were looking for kind of a push through again. And yesterday morning, let's see. Yesterday we were sitting here, right? This is a no entry. This is a no entry. And again, could you have taken any of these short? Yeah, I mean, you could have taken them with Nadex. But as far as spot currency go, no entry, no entry. And this would, I mean, after you've hit it this many times, it's kind of like, yeah, here, 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 this zone is blown up. So it's not one we need to watch. But had you taken a short, you made it within, I mean, it was super close. Five pips, right? Here's the pullback. And then there's the push. You made it within 5. Again, you guys probably, if you guys did get short this one, you guys probably made, I mean, it ran 30, so it turned where it should have. But again, no entry, no entry, no entry does not meet our rules. So nothing we can do. But we were looking for a short position, and it did. It turned exactly where it should have, right? If you're looking for the origin of the move, right there. Actually, it's right there, right? It did exactly what it was supposed to do. It turned where it should have. And I even mentioned that yesterday, that it's a little bit long, that ideally it's here, but we were close enough. So right now, I would say, now we have a confirmation that we have buyers down here. So let's keep this down here. We'll keep this as a green because we know they stopped at once. It could be good for another hit. Top side. Ooh. Top side, probably this level. It's a clean. It's at 8 o'clock, so U.S. session open. I'll pull it to there, turn this one red, and I'd say that that's probably our next. Oops, this one has to go back to red. There we go. Oops, no, don't move that one. I think either of those levels are good. 130.30. I'm sorry, 138.30, 137.43. Top and bottom. And again, right now we're kind of just pulling back into the same level. Like, this is an area where there's definitely been some problems, right? Right? A lot of basing, kind of a push, and it touched, then it touched, then it touched again. So it's a small level, but I'm kind of going for more of the extremes. You know, if you do an intraday curve kind of thing with just this kind of leveling back and forth, we're smack in the middle. So could it roll here? Yeah. I mean, we're seeing this, this whole dollar thing come in, right? Um, US trader really kind of trying to pick up and be like, hey, listen, let's bring some strength back in, and that's what we're seeing right now. So again, wait to see what it does at 37.43, right? It's a decent run between those two though, 53. So yeah, yeah, not bad. And look, you're seeing it come back in. Let's see. Let's check the Dixie real quick. Yeah, see, they're fighting. It's a battle right now, and we only have about an hour to go before the European traders are out. So if U.S. trader says we're going to take dollar strength and go the rest of the day dollar strength, that will be the reversal here. That also leads us actually to the downside for this guy. So yeah, um, curious. Let me see something. Where is my Nadex platform? Let me see. That is at, what is that price level? 137, basically 138. No, there was not. I was curious to see if there was a knockout up there. Pound dollar. Let me see. Wow. Wow. The call spreads, the 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. call spread, the ceilings are 137.60, and then it jumps all the way to 139.10, and then 140.60. Like it was like 138s. Nah, we're good, bro. We don't need 138s. We're gonna skip all those. Yeah, so those are bad. There was a call spread on the daily though, right at 138 that you could have grabbed, which was decent. So there was a call spreads. There's a call spread that was at what 138 down to 135, which is you're not going that low, but there's a call spread sitting there for this one. Okay. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, you can see is moving. So we talked about a breakthrough 125.34 yesterday because we just mentioned that with FOMC we expected this one to go higher. FOMC ended up it ended up like when we pushed through. So we were sitting right here yesterday, right? We took a jump off of this one, right? We ended up tagging the level, pulling back down for a decent trade, and that was a 1030 reversal. And then FOMC kicked in, and then here's the FOMC strength. So we did get the burst through, but it was after a bit of a pullback, and it was a decent level. I wish it had gotten a little bit lower. I did not take entry into this one, but again, this first little hit was nice. And again, here's the FOMC. Right there's the FOMC surge. We were looking for that, and again, it did burst through the top. So didn't make it all the way up to our sell target. We were looking for it to come all the way up to 126.34. And again, we didn't have this pullback in here, you guys can see exactly where we would have hit to. Right there was that kind of final surge from the open. We were right up in the range of the 126.39. So we were right thinking, unfortunately, this pullback from the open. Again, this is the market preparing for what everybody expects, and I expected FOMC would be good for it. So it continued to push. So right now, we could remove this. I would say there's a couple areas in here that are pretty interesting. Obviously, where we're at right now, again, we're seeing dollar strength come back in the other markets. Right, that pound dollar we're starting to turn around. We pulled back right into an area of buyers. So we know that there's some, and this is the European session open right here, and that's where those buyers stepped in. So CAD got super weak. Dollar had strength here, but it had weakness versus everything else. So we have those reversals coming in at Dixie, the dollar, what is it? Euro dollar, pound dollar. This could also lead us a bit higher. Now, what I want to take along from this one, it's okay. And again, this was the plan yesterday, was to go long off of it. I think watching this as a secondary level here, whoops, say probably there, just block the whole thing up. I think these are the three levels we watch out for at this point. I think there's a level sitting in here. This was already one we wanted to go long off of, and after the top, it's about 60 pips through the top. So again, that was a decent long from that level. If we're able to collapse and crash back down again, I still think this is a valid short at 124.23. Don't know when we'll hit it, whether it be today, tomorrow, next week, next month. Who knows? But it's one you should keep on your radar. I like the way that it based and kind of came back twice and touched. Otherwise, I think 126.23 is the next area where we're really looking for a good short. What was the pair before this one? I can't see. Pound dollar. Yeah, it's hard for you guys to see this a little bit. Yeah, this is the pound dollar. and this is dollar CAD. So dollar CAD's got some interesting, but again, the trade from yesterday is already out. I think OPEC may help us a little bit today, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. Oil inventories probably aren't going to affect it. Remember, dollar CAD doesn't drag oil around. Oil drags the dollar CAD, just like gold does with the Aussie. So, you know, I would say that this one stands the most chance of going back up again, just because we're seeing that dollar reversal. But if we get up to 126.38, take this one short, roll it back down again. I think it's going to be decent. Dollar Swiss, you can see, dropped. Now, yeah. So if you were in attendance yesterday, we talked about that the knockout that was in there, right? So let's see. Yesterday we were sitting right here, right here, and we mentioned that there's the aggressive level, right? Here's the 10 o'clock. It hit it at 11 o'clock. 10:30, 11 o'clock when we got off is when it hit the aggressive level. Okay. Here's one of those scenarios where the knockouts work really, really well. Okay. The risk level here, I think it was at like, hold on, I had it written down. I think it was $16, right? I think it was $16. And remember, knockouts have a bit of duration, right? I thought I had it written down. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I think 16. I think 16 is what it was. I have 16 written over here on the post-it note, and I think that's what it was. $16 worth of risk, and you guys can see that from our level yesterday, from where the entry is, it is down 118. For you right now to buy that one back, it's at 125 bucks. Right, it's at $125 and kind of still going right now. So risking 16 to make 125 in the other direction, quite a nice trade in one day. So I hope to God some of you guys caught that one. And again, we talked about these aggressive levels, but having a knockout pretty close. And again, if you missed this entry and being like, oh, I should have got in, you did have another opportunity. And the second this failed, you had a couple more opportunities. And this was a big trade, right? So even if we took it from where the knockout was here at 75, right there, you can see right now it's at a 1 to 12 risk to reward ratio, right? 1 to 12. It's actually 12.38. So yeah, score one for the dirty guys. Hope to God you guys got this one from yesterday. So nice one there. You can see these two areas of interest got just blown through. So, and the funny part is this channel we've pushed all the way back into the base of this channel. Trying to see where we would kind of. I mean, we could pull it from there. I would say really the next super clean level is really sitting right here. Right. And why I say that is because make sure in your short, make sure you take your profit. Whoops, not purple. It should be blue. Make sure you guys get your profit out. So you got another, I don't know, 20 pips to go. So yeah. So there was that. I hate to say it, but this was the trade of the day. And again, I feel dirty. I'm going to shower after this because it was the dollar Swiss. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, now, did I expect this much movement? No, I expected we'd have a hiccup down here, which was still 1 to 4. This was like a 1 to 8. The 1 to 12 was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But hey, that's the thing about knockouts. I mean, you can just run these things and then kind of trail a stop behind them if you want. Nice trade. Real nice trade. And it's still got some room to run. The 175 comes down to 90.25. Yeah, 90. Is it 90.25? Yeah, 90.25 is how far this one will actually move. Right. But I was pushing down here. I was like, listen, I doubt it'll go that far. So, Ernest, don't say the best. I don't want to say the best because it did nothing for so long. And then again, we talked about this level. It provided an awesome one here. And then this one was like, yeah, there's testing right here. And that's exactly where it came to. So I don't know that I would say the best. Not the best, but it has provided some really good opportunities. I will admit that. And again, it was the best setup yesterday based off of where knockouts were. It's kind of like that, that meme for the world's most interesting man or whatever, right? I don't always trade the dollar Swiss. I think, the dollar Swiss doesn't always provide opportunity, but when it does, that was a decent one. Dollar yen, kind of the same thing. We wanted to get short, FOMC was sitting right over here, and we wanted to get short. We were hoping to get a pullback in that one. There was just a bit too much risk, so we never pulled the trigger. And you can see here was an area of interest. We had 1, 2, 3, it based in, and then 4 just blew through without even a pullback. So, it was one of those ones we wanted to get short. Just unfortunately, we never got a trade entry for it. A lot of times we have that bullish or bearish bias, but there's not a whole lot we can take off of it. Go up to 2 hour right now. You can see that it actually ended up hitting this level and spiking. Okay. And I always get this question like, oh wait, should I have gone long there? Yeah, probably. But would you have lost money on it? No. Right. There's our 30-minute level. There's the retracement, and you guys can see right there, and it went to that level. That was a 2.5. So if you were at a 1 to 2.5, should you lose money on the trade? The answer is absolutely not. And you may have even taken profit. You lock yourself in with 10, 15 pips on that one, right? So should have lost anything on that one. And you can see it's interesting. It's basing in that same level. Now it's pulling back, and it's actually setting up for that short as well. And this one is continuing to push lower. And we actually have an area here where we mentioned a break of 109.58. And here I'll continue this across so you guys can see it fully. We talked about a break of 109.58. This was a trade we had for a while, right? Set up. If we broke through, we were looking for this to push down to approximately right there. So, yeah. So there's the break of the level. We got another about 26 to go on that one. But yeah, so once this one hit, it was 1.5. It came back and based. The actual short entry should have been here. And we could have actually, we can use that same level. It's fine. Trying to figure out where the true base was, and we think it's to there, and that's a 3.6. So good target to the downside. That would have been triggered right there. Okay. Right there. Actually, the top is a little bit off, but right there. All right. So this one, I'm full belief we were talking about getting short yesterday. Nice little hiccup, and then again, Harry Potter entry. Again, for those of you that are new, don't know what a Harry Potter entry is. It's when we have something along these lines. All right. Now Harry Potter has that lightning bolt scar on his head. It's a kind of a momentum continuation, right? And what did it do? It bounced off a level that we talked about. So it broke through, it grabbed the level, gave us the pullback. So again, this is what it looks like. Here, I'll stretch it out so you guys can see it. Make sure everybody's on the same page. There was your pullback down. There was your pullback back up again. Oops, I didn't want to move that. I wanted to move this. And then it is doing its kind of move to the downside. Okay. Lightning bolt, just like Harry has on his head. So somebody the other day said it. They're like, did I hear Harry Potter? Did I hear J.K. Rowling? So I'm like, yeah, we said Harry Potter. I say Harry Potter, but Todd's like, oh, J.K. is going to be mad. I'm like, yeah, whatever. All right, let's jump up to ES. So ES has been pretty much straight down and had a little bit of stabilization. Let's go down to a 15-minute. And I mentioned, if we were at either of these two areas yesterday for FOMC, it would have been fine. FOMC, we actually were sitting right up here, and it was really uneventful. Didn't really give us much, right? We had this 10:30 reversal, came a little bit late, did kind of peek through a little bit. You could have grabbed this one if you had taken it in Nadex. If you take it in futures, you would have got stopped out. It did turn, right? It did turn. It went a little bit to stop people out on it. So yeah, it happens. But again, with Nadex, you would have been fine. Secondary level here, we hit, we pushed up, we hit, we pushed up. Whenever you have this type of pattern where it hits and goes high, comes in again and goes high, because it came all the way back up to here, pretty much the sign that you need to get short, right? I'll drop it onto a 5 minute so you can kind of see how this looked. We hit it, we came up. We hit it, we came up. We kind of pushed down again. And again, after 2 hits, if it's not going, the second it pulls back, yeah, go short. You would probably not have gotten your entry here. It based in there again. It's like, yep, we're looking to go short. Here's the trigger. There's the entry. There was the short. Okay. And again, line it up for a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio trade. There's your zone. There's your 3-to-1. So you can see it didn't take very long. And this is a 5-minute chart. But again, if it hits your level and you got long and went up, and then hits your level again and goes back up again, the second it rolls down and hits that level, you got to be like, hey, listen, this is not going any higher. It's time to go short. So you wait for the, again, you're following the trend, right? Because the trend is down. We're not thinking reversal. We're thinking momentum continuation. And we do the same exact thing. Harry Potter down, lightning bolt back up, and boom, profit target down. Okay. And again, same pattern. There's the down, there's the up, and there's the down. Okay. So if you guys grab this one, good job. You should have been able to get it. Like I said, telltale sign if you got in, and it did it like 3, 4 o'clock. So it's kind of an easy one you could have taken there. Right now we're just chopping sideways. I'm on a 5 minute. It still didn't even look great, but there's the 15. We didn't really hit anything. You could have tried to grab something low, but it's just literally going back and forth. I would say this one is kind of stuck right now. Um, now could we use that level? Um, I don't think so. I don't really like any of them right now. There's a little level right below where we are, kind of sitting right down here, like on a 15 minute, but I don't know that I'd use it again. Right now, because it's so boxed in, I mean, it's been here since 6 o'clock, really kind of going back and forth. You could, I mean, I guess there could be an argument made. We could say, well, listen, we got a little base right there. We got something. Sure, sure. I mean, I guess we could, you know, if you're looking for something aggressive, it was a nice base below, kind of another pullback level and push down. So if you're looking to get it into something, you could do a 4305 right entry. But as far as anything long, I don't really have much, and I think it's just going to chop. There's not a whole lot in there. Thank you, Harry Potter, for making the scar on my forehead fashionable. That's exactly why, Nero. That's exactly why. NQ. NQ did the same thing. You can see it did the same thing. A chop through came up, never really gave us anything clean. Didn't really do much. And you guys can see, unfortunately, this one never gave us an entry. So it chopped through, came up, and really just kind of based nothing. Pulled down, we based on it. If it would have given us a base and a pullback, we could have got it, but there's nothing. We Unfortunately, this one didn't give us any type of an entry. And again, the negativity just lumped into this one, right? Now, it did turn at a level where we would have expected it. I would say, I mean, really, none of these levels are anything that I love. Whoops, let me go back. Let's say that we got a level down here at 14,469. There's probably a level to watch here on the 15 in this level here. I don't think it's great, but it's pulled back. If anything, I would say this one is kind of set up the same way, right? We had a level of basing here, right there, and we've just bounced off it. I would say that this one is kind of more set up for probably more set up for a short. And you can see at 10:30 is when we're kind of hitting the roll. I don't think there's any other. Let me see. Is there any other news coming out right now? Um, no, more Australia-based news. They're having issues with this one. Okay, the Olympics are now banning spectators after Japan declares a state of emergency. So that just came out. Mm, Actually, I'm curious. Let me see this one. Let's see. I love it. So it's funny. The most populous city recorded 38 new cases. Right? They're like, oh my god, we're at highest breakout levels ever, and it's like 38, right? And that's in city. Like, look at New York City and see how many in like our most populous city, right? Like, I think the entire state of Maryland had like 25 or 26. It's funny that their biggest city um, include one major worker. Yeah, so it's Delta variant. Delta variant. Yeah. Um. So, eh, Yeah, I would say there's not a lot of momentum. There's not a lot of news out there. It is more set up for short than anything else. But I mean, it's already hit it once. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of front run. But if we have a reversal and if negativity continues throughout the day to day, and again, why would you say why would there be negativity? Again, this unemployment claims number also not great. Olympics banning spectators because COVID, Sydney COVID. Um, you know, there's enough negativity out there to drive this one short back to the downside over here. Okay. Um, And again, if you wanted to throw a risk versus reward, I would say it's small. There, that's 3.7. So you're only looking for it to come back basically where the open is. So not anything crazy. YM. YM did the same thing. Now this one did give you the Harry Potter. Kind of came down, came back up again, and then if you didn't catch it here, you could have caught it over here, right? Looking for this one to go long, but again, it hit it and bounced, came back in, and then bounced again. So again, two strikes into his own, kind of a telltale sign. And if you get stopped on it, no big deal. Always start to reverse it over. Again, it's obvious right now in the 15 minute the trend was down. We're looking for a reversal at this level, right? We had an old Harry Potter here, but we never got the entry. And the way that it bounced, we kind of liked it for long. But here was the original break, right? Here was the racetrack we were looking to take over. It just we had to refine things to this level, right? Was it worth a shot? Yeah, it hit it and bounced. It hit it and bounced twice, and then it kind of failed. So I mean, again, one, two, three, number fours would hit, pulled in, based, and got that short in. And if you didn't catch it there, you caught it here, and it's pushing down. I think this one is also sandwiched at this point. We know that we have kind of buyers here, right? We know we had buyers here, and actually, let's pull this down just here. Yeah, and you can see hit there and hit there. So yeah, this was the original short we were looking for. We just revised it because of the way that this formed. And again, didn't work, but there was your long from the same level that we had marked off from back over here. Okay, which again, confirmation piece here. So let's take this one out. I don't really like how that base there. Just trying to find new levels where we'd be willing to take some sells. There. This one kind of has that same bit. It's a little bit farther ahead than NQ was. Big question will be is this will be the third hit of this level if we hold or go down. But here's that negativity we're talking about. Yeah, it's already almost pushing through. They're all doing the same thing. So again, great little Harry Potters in there, right? That's going to be it. Let's see. Yeah, this one unfortunately didn't reach. This one reached and is moving, and that one is kind of the same thing. And your 3-to-1 target, oops, your 3-to-1 target is there. You can see it's already done. Already finished. It just hit the profit target. Actually, it did it twice. I just realized that. I'm like, why is that drawing weird? It actually hit it here, and then it hit it a second time and dropped. So it actually has done that level twice, that level of basing. So, yeah, a lot of down movement this morning. Some of you Dow traders, hopefully you guys banked on this one twice. Yeah, so I didn't even realize that it had done it twice. I'm like, wait, this first candle. So yeah, Dow's dropping, and again, got a level. Buyers are stepping in. I'd say probably here, but yeah, watch those guys. Watch that 34,000 number. But I will say 34,000 will be a psychological level. People look at that and be like, hey, this is a big thing. We break 34,000, it's going down. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of try to break through. And the next level below that, yeah, that one's fine. Look for a level just below that here. Okay. 33,922. So yeah, interesting. All right, oil. So oil. Talked about a knockout down here at 75.50. It came down. It's still valid. It has not hit it yet. Let's block off the European session. So European session high is here to 830 is there. And it basically retraced. It's at the same exact spot. This one will go blue. And now we're in the orange. So again, this is a little right now. We're in the little, so we're kind of preparing for the big. I'd say right now this looks like it wants to go up. Nice little kind of trend here. We've pushed a little bit higher. We're doing a pullback right now. And again, remember it's at 11 o'clock. We got 30 minutes. Normally it would be right now. So we need to drop it in the next 30 minutes. But it is interesting. We've been really kind of holding. If you think about it, we've been kind of holding in this level for a day now. So yeah. Although I'd love for this to come back down to 60, I think we're probably due for this to start retracing back up again. I wouldn't be surprised if we have like a this today. If we have something along those lines. Just my feeling, but I typically don't like the Thursday oil releases. I think they're a little bit funky. This is our Wednesday, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go up. Let's see on a 5 minute. Yeah, it's sitting in the middle right now. It hasn't done any type of stabilization, but we pull back a little bit lower. Yeah, I would say long today on oil, but I don't really have a clean setup for you guys. So I don't really want to give you guys much. There's a small level. I don't think we're going to drive this low, but there's a small level sitting right here that you can watch out for as well. So kind of two small levels. Remember, there's a knockout over here at 70.51, 70.50. But yeah, gold. So gold, big push up, and we mentioned yesterday this one really kind of just pulling back down. That I would leave this on. Let's see. Let's take this back up to a 30 minutes. So yesterday we were sitting right here. And we talked about it starting to pull back. It came lower, kind of went right back to that same level and found the buyers and spiked, but is pulling right back again. I just feel obviously having the numbers this morning, the unemployment numbers are not necessarily great either. I do think this one comes back, but we're flirting around at 1800. And again, if you dealt with, whoops, let me pull that back. If you're looking for buyers right there, here's your European Open, right? European Open at a green level. Now it burst through this, which it's fine. We can move that forward and get a new kind of intraday hot top on it. But like I said, gold, I've been like trying to figure out how to get long, right? I think today it probably spends its time coming back down again, and I'm curious whether we can take another entry off of 1795. But remember, 1800. Anytime we break through, it's like, oh my god, we broke 18. We go below it. Oh my god, we went below 18. It's just back and forth. What are you gonna do? It's gonna be hard. You can see silver is already more negative. So gold technically is still green, but not by much, by 0.08. I think it comes back down and tags this level, and again, we could probably take a long off of it. Silver, we were looking for this to go short, and we did. We broke below, we touched, we came back up again. I still think silver. We wait to 25.50. I think silver makes another attempt to get down there. We'll see if the buyers in this area, right? We'll see if the group of buyers right there can slow silver down. But we've hit it what 3 times now, 2 times, 3 times. I think as long as we clear kind of this area of interest, I think we push lower. I think 25.50 is where we look to go long. It's so close. I'll put it right here. Let's just fix it right there, just to make it 25.50, so it's flat. Yeah. So still looking for that. Now I can remove this one. This is that top side. I'm actually going to adjust silver a little bit. Let's actually pull this. We're going to pull this there. I do feel like silver is kind of broken out of that other 26 level. We can take this one off now. I'm just trying to find some smaller intraday stuff for silver. I'd say let's watch that area right there. We'll see if we can get back up to it later today. That level is sitting here on those lines. Yeah, we're looking for this to come down. So 25.50, 26.66 are the two we're looking at for silver. Yeah, I mean gold is making an attempt. It's coming down. It's trying. It's 0.07 right now. Tesla getting hit pretty good. Apple getting hit pretty good. Cryptos are all getting blasted. They're all down. Wow, Ethereum's down 7% today. AMC's down another 4%. So AMC is people are not watching as many movies as they thought. GME is down. Dogecoin is down as well. Look at Doji. Look at this thing, man. We're back at the 20. I saw something yesterday that somebody was like, "Oh, is it going to zero soon?" It's like, what? But yeah, heading down. And natural gas. Look at this spike in natural gas. Look at that. Since 8 o'clock this morning, natural gas has been. All right, now I'm curious. Let's see what the number was for natural gas. Non-US. Look at that. 16. It's like they knew. And again, that's 10:30. It's like they knew that natural gas was going to have a green number. 8 o'clock, it came down here and grab the level. I mean, you could look. There's your basing level right there. Look at it. 8 o'clock. Nice little runner for natural gas. Right now, it's already at a 1 to 4. So it's like they knew it was going to be that number. It's like they knew. So let's take oil one last time. See if oil has slowed down enough for us to find a level. No, it's not. It hasn't stabilized yet. I was looking for the stabilization, but it's not there. I mean, ideally, if it pushes down and then halts here in the next 15 minutes, that could be long. Let me see how much premium is jacked into these today. That's not horrible, actually. That's actually not bad. The indicative is at 63. The at the money right now is a difference of about $4. That's actually not horrible. Yeah, they don't have the spread too jacked up. They're saying I mean, it is obviously there's only an hour left on it, but I mean there could be a nice little spike. Let me see what the dailies are. How bad the daily because the 2 hours are not horrible right now. Yeah, it's a $2 spread on those. Those aren't bad either. It looks like they're not expecting it. I mean, a 72. Wow, that's not bad. Oh, I guess it's a 90-cent move. Mm, it's actually not horrible today. I mean, there's a 70, what is it? A 72.10 for 35, a 72.50 for $22. That requires a 90-cent move, which puts it what? Would I say 72.50? 72.50 is only right there, right? There's a 5-minute chart. That's not that big of a move for oil, right? I mean, if this is what we saw, I mean, we saw what, $1.43 in the overnight session or in the European session. That's 90 cents away. That's actually not horrible. I wish it would stabilize in a zone though, so it would give us a direction. Let's see downwise, and these are the dailies, so it's you got 4 hours to go on this one. I mean 70, 90 in the other direction is only 25. Is there right at a level? Is that right? 70? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, $25 to the downside. Yeah, so that's there. This one is actually not jacked up today. Not really jacked up. So 25 risk down, and yeah, interesting. Not horrible. Wow, it's the first time for a while. Now I feel like it's just going to do nothing but flatline because man, whew, Natix did not jack that one. But yeah, actually, let's put this other one on there real quick, and then we'll go ahead and do the thing. Um, and that's a daily, so 230 for. There we go. And that one is what I say 22. Just want to mark this off for later. 72.50. 72.50. And currently 23. Yeah, so that's not bad. You could actually get into this one for a breakout trade for less than $50. So not a bad trade. All right, let's go ahead and do today's drawing. Giveaways right here. I got 10, 11 in. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds. I know we went a little bit late. Oh, 11:30. Okay. Why is that? Look at that. It's red now. That's new. Never seen the red before. All right. Give you guys about another 15 seconds. No Ernest. No Ernest. Ernest gets no love. Ernest gets no love. All right, here we go. Closing it down in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Let's see who the winner is. Remember, Sean won yesterday, right? So Sean's playing this one smart. He has the most tickets. Sean's up for 100 pip chips. Everybody else is up for 25. Here we go. Winner of today's drawing is. Oh, man. Debbie, I feel like you are the spoiler more than anybody else in the last 2 months. I'm telling you, I really feel like Debbie is it's like, here we go for a 3. Bam, it's Debbie. Here's a 2. Bam, it's Debbie. Debbie is like, I don't know. I feel like Ernest has a bad reputation, but I feel like Debbie is like well earning her. Everybody's like, oh my God, Debbie again. Debbie, you're cracking me up with these. cracking me up. Leaderboard. Where's Debbie? Debbie, I love when it's I'm telling you, it's like you guys beat up on Debbie and Marina, and then all of a sudden that's what happens. Ooh, we're holding right here to level. Look at that. We're holding on a 5 minute now. We're pausing at a level 15 minutes ahead of time in a level of pullback. So that's if we can this is the type of stabilization we typically like for longs. It's so funny. All right, guys. So with that said, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go get the girl, rescue her, go eat some breakfast. Winning doesn't matter when you're never won. Makes a breaks. You just gotta stay around longer, buddy. You'll get it. Here's the thing. Once you learn how to win, you'll win. I'll leave it at that. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. You guys have a good one. Take care.